please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the high school chorus.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the graduation exercises of the class of 2018. And how about this air conditioning tonight, yes? Thank you, Dr. Cassidy. Thank you, parents, family, and friends for joining us in the celebration of the 2018 graduates. And special guest, thank you for joining us this evening. Mr. John Kaplis, Select Board Member. Mr. Cameron Fortes, Select Board Member. Narragansett School Committee members. Ms. Margaret Hughes, newly appointed chairperson. Ms. Rayanne Tripolo, our vice chairperson. And committee members, Vicki Chartier, Deb Robichaud, Hank Mason, and Lori Matson. Thank you also to our superintendent, Dr. Chris Cassavant, our high school faculty and staff, and Mr. Vancelette. And I would also like to thank all of you for being here for this exciting night. And while we're saying our thank yous, we would be remiss if we did not remember our class advisors, Ms. Ann Lyons and Ms. Jamie Cherry. We'd also like to thank our junior class advisors, Ms. Erin O'Day, Ms. Tina Lashua, and Ms. Nicole Hemlin for all the work that they did with the junior class. For all the decorations and making the gym so festive. Our junior class officers and junior marshals, Will Brasini, Christopher LeBlanc, Julia Moore, and Cassie Pentola. Thank you for your extra work. And we absolutely could not miss saying thank you to the senior class counselor, Miss Katie Donnelly. Speaking of our faculty, we'd like to recognize one of our teachers who, unfortunately for us, has decided to leave our school family in the fall as she will be taking the path of retirement. Thank you, Mrs. Clark, for all that you have given. We just want to show our appreciation for all that you have given to our Narragansett school community. Those students who will be joining the Armed Forces after graduation. Miss Sarah Myers, who will be going to the Navy. Who will be going to the Air Force. Zachary O'Malley, who also will be going Air Force. And Andrew Piles, who will be going to the Marines. Please welcome to the podium at this time our superintendent and class friend, Dr. Christopher Cassavan.
The good news is we have air conditioning, and we can thank Rick Moulton, our facilities director, for that. The bad news is we now can go 3 hours, so get comfy. I'm joking, it's true. Narragansett has a wonderful tradition honoring our veterans. If you've had the opportunity to walk through the high school foyer, you will see a memorial dedicated to our veterans that gave the ultimate sacrifice who were graduates of the Narragansett Regional School District as it was formed in 1958. One of those heroes is Lance Corporal William Bronson Jr., who, as it turns out, never received a diploma from Narragansett. We are here tonight to take care of that. In the summer of 1966, Corporal Bronson, without notifying his parents, joined the United States Marines. In 1967, William Shepard shipped out to Klang Tribe, Providence, and was involved in the Tet Offensive, which was the bloodiest time of the entire conflict. In 1968, and only 18 years old, William sustained a serious injury from an explosion that required several operations and months of recovery. Sadly, in the spring of 1976, Corporal William Bronson died, succumbing to the injuries and trauma of his wounds some 8 years later. At this time, this would have been William's 50th class reunion. The district would like to bestow his diploma to his grandniece, Katie White, and his entire family. By doing so, this solidifies what we have always known, that Lance Corporal William Bronson Jr. is a true warrior. Thank you. I thought someone was going to say my name again. So, okay. It's called the dramatic pause, class of 2018. Get over it. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Narragansett Regional School District's graduation ceremony to honor and congratulate our wonderful graduates, class of 2018. Yeah. I first want to thank the 2018 class advisors, Mrs. Ann Lyons and Mrs. Jamie Chartier, for all their hard work, enthusiasm, and honesty. Their love for these kids is palpable. They have been wonderful. Thank you. Although I'd like to think that they could do it on their own, they cannot, and I need and want to acknowledge and thank the high school staff and administration for doing such an outstanding job organizing and coordinating these wonderful events that culminates tonight with the amazing graduation ceremony. My sincere thanks to everyone involved, especially the class of 2019. Now, this class has been thought of to be one of the most academically recognized group in recent memory. But they're smart. But I'd like to think that over the next 10 minutes or so, we can probably teach them just a few more lessons before they leave us. Let's see. So, as many of you know, I enlisted the help of our kindergarten and first graders last year to help give the class of 2017 some valuable advice before moving on. So, I feel it's only fair to do the same thing for the class of 2018. So, with that said, taped underneath each of your chairs is nothing. I cannot believe you just found it out. Oh my God. That is so 2017. I can't totally believe it. Woo. Lesson number 1. Don't live in the past. You are now charting your own course. Embrace the fact that you have no idea what you are capable of and what is your true potential. Over the past 18 years or so, you have been guided by many of us in finding what your calling may be. It is now time for you to bring that to fruition. Lesson number 2. Don't forget who you are or where you came from. The class of 2018 is very caring. I can tell you that from experience. They are a compassionate group of young men and women beyond I have seen in a long, long time, who have time and time again have given themselves selfishly. This is such an important characteristic that you must always to improve. You must need to continually improve on this trait, because it is these attributes, these strengths, which are the foundation to being a good person, which, beyond all, is the most important. I have been struck by the compassion and kindness of these young men and women that is displayed while no one has been watching, which, as anyone knows, and the great John Wooden said, that the true test of a person's character is what they do when no one is watching. And I'm here to tell you, class of 2018, you had to learn that somewhere. So it is truly a credit to not only you, but those who have raised you. Thank you, parents. Lesson number 3, expect the unexpected. Maybe you're nervous right now because you are unsure of what lies ahead. Good. Because that means you are ready to move on to the next part of your life. Be prepared to make mistakes, because you will make a lot of them. Embrace the fact that you are going to make mistakes. Mistakes force us to challenge what we think we know about ourselves. They force us to learn. Making mistakes is an important part of becoming who you are and who you are destined to be. Now, as you learn from our wonderful English teachers, symbolism has an important role in every culture. So what you can see coming down the hallway here, or on both sides. So take the simple balloon, for example. A balloon symbolizes the desire of freedom. It also symbolizes holding on and letting go. I find that interesting. Before us, we have the class of 2018 who are excited about moving on to the next chapter of their lives. Yet, there are just as many parents and guardians in this same room not wanting to let go. Deborah Tyndall said that balloons teach us there are times in life when people must know when to let go. Think back, class of 2018, to when you were small and you had a balloon that you let go, and how sad that made you feel. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to think that there are many of us who feel the same tonight. We know that we have to let you go. We just don't want to. So, inside each of these balloons, there is a message of support and advice from our youngest warriors for each of you to take with you on your journey. When you are ready to see these wise words of advice, simply pop the balloon. How will I pop the balloon, you may ask? Well, they have thought of everything, our kindergartners and first graders, don't you know? And they have attached to each balloon a small pin to help you pop the balloon. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to be part of your superintendent, and to also be a small part of preparing you for what lies ahead. Good luck, and God bless you. That went better than I thought.
Thank you for the sparkle, Dr. Casavan. Thank you, Dr. Casavan. That was truly a lot of fun. Everybody got them? The custodial staff will be very happy to have to clean this up later. At this time, we'll proceed with our program. I feel bad for our next speaker. She has to follow that. But I think she can rise to the challenge. Our next speaker is our President of the National Honor Society, Miss Abigail Salata. Not only is Abby the President of the National Honor Society, she is also a member of several other groups, clubs, organizations, and societies here at the school. She played field hockey in the fall, and she so enjoyed it, Miss Moulton, that she's going to be playing field hockey for Anna Maria College. proud of 5 children, and her favorite pastime is being a big sister. Abby.
Good evening. Back when we were freshmen, this ceremony certainly felt like a dream. Who would have thought that the time would go by so fast and we would all be parading down the aisle to pomp and circumstance? To my fellow classmates, it is now time for us to jump into the future with enthusiasm. We shall dare to place no limits on what we will accomplish, dream big, and bring excellence to all that we do. High school has truly gone by in the blink of an eye. The amount of times we thought about this day waiting for it to come, and now it is finally here. It felt like it took years. Well, I mean it did. But anyway, unfortunately, our time attending classes at the Rege has ended. However, I challenge you, my fellow classmates, to see this as the beginning of a new chapter in your life story. Each of us has had a different interpretation on high school. Each of us went through different experiences. Each of us socialized with different crowds. But all of us are graduating here tonight, together as a class, and I would like to congratulate all of you. Now for only a few more short moments, we will be classmates. We have been gifted, guarded, and guided by our teachers, coaches, parents, and community, and thanks to them, we have flourished upon a strong foundation. Now let's hope the new elementary school foundation is as strong as ours. But we will all be embarking on our different journeys and will be taking different paths. As you begin this journey, do not let the world rush you. Let us discover who we truly are and expand upon our interests and embrace our talents. During life, do not succumb to someone else's idea of who you are supposed to be. Now, oftentimes, we do think of struggling and we think it's a bad thing. I mean, for some of us sitting through the ceremony, it's a struggle within itself. But struggling in life, it's inevitable. And we should embrace our struggles, knowing that they will change us for the better. Struggling should not be considered a mistake. And as Bob Ross would say, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. At this time, the band will play our school song. Thank you, Mr. Rathbone and the band. At this time, we'd like to welcome Ms. Rayanne Tripolo, Vice Chairperson, who will be introducing our second salutatorian.
It is with great pleasure that I get to introduce the second salutatorian of the class of 2018 for Narragansett Regional High School. Mr. Joshua Geister will be glad when this is over, I'm sure, so we're going to make this quick, although his contribution to Narragansett certainly wasn't. He has been a member of the Shaman chapter of the National Honor Society, the Mu Alpha Theta Mathematics Honor Society, the Rho Kappa Social Studies Honor Society, the English Honor Society, much to do about English, and as one of his best high school memories was going rock climbing in his outdoor adventure class, he was also a member of the ski club. Joshua will be attending Worcester Polytechnical Institute to major in engineering in the fall. And without any further ado, I introduce the second salutatorian, Mr. Joshua Geister.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joshua Geister, but most people just call me Jacob. I guess there are a few drawbacks from being an identical twin and a triplet. I'm sure my sister Jordan and my brother Jake will agree with me on that. After 17 years, I've just trained myself to respond to a variety of names, including Josh, Jake, Geister 1 or Geister 2. Being a twin isn't all that bad, though. I have a very good friend who I've known for as long as I have been alive. Things will be weird when we go off to college next year at separate universities, but at least I can have my own name for a change. After tonight, everyone will be going their separate directions. Some will be going to college, some will go serve our country, some will start full-time careers, or some may join the circus. You never really know where life will take you. No matter where you go or what you are planning on doing, there will always be one thing that each one of us shares, and that is our high school experience. Some may see this as a blessing, others may see this as a curse, depending if you had to take physics with Mr. Clapp or not. Either way, I'm sure everyone can say that high school had a lot of good times. No one will miss the homework, but we will miss the friends we have made and the teachers we have bonded with. As we all travel in different directions, and as we meet new people, it is more important than ever to be yourself. In school, you may have felt influenced or forced by those around you to think or act a certain way. With high school behind us, we are given a clean slate to reconfigure who we are. With a new environment and new people, don't miss this chance to live life how you want. Try new things and don't be afraid of how others will judge your actions. Take this opportunity to improve who you are as a person and figure out what will make you happy. Just remember that your parents don't want you in their basement forever. If you have had Mr. Clapp as a teacher, then you probably had to listen to one of his rants, probably more than once, regarding the lack of effort and a general laziness in the youth of today. Generation Cupcake, as Mr. Clapp would call it, is plagued by an epidemic of laziness. I am no better than the average youth, despite standing where I am right now. I too am quite lazy. My whole life, my father has been telling me not to be so lazy, and that when he was young, you would never find him indoors. He used to walk 6 miles uphill, both ways, in a blizzard to school. Well, times have changed, Dad, but he was right that laziness will only lead you to your demise. 2 years ago, I spent a few weeks of my summer hiking in New Mexico, at the Philmont Scout Ranch. At Philmont, I experienced firsthand just how difficult life would be if I continued my lethargic lifestyle. It was the 5th day on the trail that we hiked a real mountain, but it was not like Wachusett or even Monadnock. We spent 3 hours just hiking back and forth along switchbacks as we progressed higher. Following that, we then spent an hour in the sun on the final stretch hiking on shale that slid out from under your feet. It was like hiking on marbles. Philmont truly was a strange place. One minute you could be in the forest, and the next you could be stepping into a desert without shade. Despite the challenge and the dehydration, we made it to the top. When I reached the summit, the struggle was worth it. There was no longer any regret or any doubt, only pride. At that moment, when you can look out at the horizon, take in the beautiful sights, and see the distance you covered, you realize that the rough terrain was worth the end result. Hiking is a lot like life. It has its peaks and it has its valleys. You will feel miserable while in the valleys, and you will want to give up. Regret will cloud your mind, and doubt will entangle your actions. However, there is nothing more rewarding than overcoming a challenge and reaching the peak. Perseverance will lead you to your happiness as long as you don't give up. In the end, happiness is the goal that everyone seeks to achieve. Often, people believe that money is all anyone ever needs, but you will find yourself only temporarily satisfied. Happiness cannot be reached by traveling in a straight line. There will be many obstacles along the way and many switchbacks. You will travel through many peaks and many valleys on your journey through life. Today, you have reached the peak of your high school career. Be proud of your accomplishments and remember that the journey wasn't always easy. When you leave high school and enter the real world, find what will make you happy. So down the road, when we meet again at a class reunion, I hope we will be able to talk about the peaks you climbed and the valleys you had to overcome to be successful. I'll look forward to those conversations in the years to come. You probably won't be able to tell me from my brother, so you can call me Josh, or you can call me Jake, but please don't call me Jordan.
Thank you, Josh. Please welcome Ms. Margaret Hughes, Chairperson of the School Committee, who will be introducing our first salutatorian.
Thank you, Principal Bassett. It's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Hannah Jordan, the first salutatorian for the class of 2018. While at Narragansett, Hannah's been an active member of our school community. She's participated in many clubs and activities, including the drama club, the marching band, the chorus, the color guard, the volunteer club, and the Commons Round Club. She's also been part of the wonderful cast in many of our school musicals and theater performances. Hannah's a member of the Shaman chapter of the National Honor Society, the Narragansett Regional High School International Thespian Society, Troop 8312, the Mu Alpha Theta Mathematics Honor Society, and Rho Kappa Social Studies Honor Society. Hannah will be continuing her studies at UMass Amherst, majoring in mathematics. And according to her bio in the yearbook, in 10 years she hopes to be living in New York City. Without further ado, I present Ms. Hannah Jordan, the first salutatorian of Narragansett Regional High School's class of 2018.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking the usual suspects: Mrs. Vassell, Mr. Vancelet, Dr. Cassavant, administration, faculty, parents, students, and everyone who helped us on this journey. I would like to say that I remember my first day of school and all of the hills and valleys that have led me to this day, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't remember much of my elementary and middle school years because it has been such a rush of events. One moment you're the line leader of your first grade class, and the next you're decorating your cap for graduation. All the years in between have flown by and escaped us. I mostly got through high school by imagining my life after high school, traveling to new places, meeting new people, and making new memories. Never forgetting the old places, old friends, and old memories. I counted the days until I would be free to leave Templeton and travel to the most beautiful places around the world. Now that high school is reaching a conclusion, these dreams feel within reach and less daunting than before. Fellow classmates, I encourage you to remember what helped you get through high school and never let go. As you continue on through life, don't forget your hopes and dreams and don't be afraid to use them as you encounter new and exciting journeys. Now that we have finally reached the end of our high school careers, our hearts are filled with anticipation and hope for the next phase of our lives. We can finally feel the overwhelming sense of relief as so many possibilities and freedoms have suddenly become available to us. All of you already know that high school has changed us in ways that we can't even begin to describe. You don't need me to stand up here and tell you that when we leave here today, leaving high school behind, we are different people than who we were 4 years ago. I'll never forget the excitement of Friday night football games, performing in parades with the marching band, and the thrill of being backstage during the musicals. When we leave high school, we're not going to remember the homework, taking tests, or writing notes in class. We're going to remember dancing at prom, getting ice cream with our friends after school, going to the beach during the summer, and going to concerts on Saturday nights. These moments are what define us, not how well we did in school or how many AP classes we took. These are the moments we'll never forget. These are the friends we'll remember forever. It is our obligation to our high school selves to safeguard the memories we make fondly while continuing to grow and tackle the exciting opportunities of our new lives. I cannot provide you with the wisest advice, but this is what I know. Enjoy the moments to come and be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. Wherever we end up in the world after high school, I wish every one of you a life of endless possibilities, hopes, and happiness. Well-known American author F. Scott Fitzgerald once said, "The world only exists in your eyes. You can make it as big or as small as you want. Only we have the power to control our lives. Now it is our duty to ourselves to make the world everything we want it to be." Congratulations, class of 2018.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Dr. Cassavant back to the podium to introduce our valedictorian.
Good evening again. As you may know, being the superintendent has many, many perks. You get to wake up 3:30, do snow days, talk to other superintendents, spend 3 hours going, And what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Then we get to go to lots and lots of meetings. It's pretty cool. But the other great perk is I get the pleasure of introducing the class valedictorian. Now, this young man is no slouch. He is a member almost of every National Honor Society known to man. National Honor Society, Math Honor Society, Social Studies Honor Society, English, SPM. Class president for all 4 years. Term limits, my friend. Elijah has also participated in cross country, winter track, spring track, student council, marching band, concert band, drama club. He was in the spring musical. He was the student leader for Freshman Academy. Oh, by the way, in his free time, he became an Eagle Scout just recently. And his project, and his project was a wonderful project in terms of it was care packages for people going through cancer treatment, if I remember. 15 scholarships. I won't read them because it just makes me feel bad about when I was young. And, of course, accordingly, this fall, he will be attending WPI, where, of course, he'll become perfect. I don't know. These awards are wonderful, but, you know, the question I have for you is that, can you dance? Can you dance? It is my absolute pleasure, honestly, to introduce this wonderful young man, class 2018 class of Mr. Elijah Hill.
Thank you, everyone. I did tell Dr. Cassian I was going to give him a hard time. That was a nice introduction, so we'll save him trouble. Thank you to all the school board, administration, faculty, staff, everyone for coming tonight. It means a lot. And of course, thanks to the class of 2018 for giving us a reason to come into this nice air-conditioned gym tonight. Well, by now we've heard it enough, but for good measure, I'm going to say it again. We made it. School's out until the fall, and even if you're going to the military, you have to go to schooling after, so school's not really out. But that ruins the sentiment of this evening, so we're just going to ignore that all for now. After years of schooling, we gather together one last time so we can walk across this very stage, honoring all the hard work this class has put in. Before you can walk, though, Narragansett Regional High has decided that despite the hours of homework and labs it is assigned to you, the poster projects, PowerPoints, and anything else that may have brought tears of despair to your eyes, you all are faced with one last punishment, that is having to listen to me give a speech. Now, please bear with me, for I wanted to write this speech in the same way as I've always done all of my homework assignments, and many others have. Dr. Cassavant mentioned symbolism, and anyone who knows my love of English knows that symbolism is very important to me. And of course, by saying this, the symbolism to it is that I waited till the last minute to write this speech, so I apologize for any lackluster things that may be said this evening. However, just know that everything is coming from my heart, because I certainly did not give myself enough time to have to come from up here. Now, when I set out to write this speech, an hour before Mrs. Vassell wanted it, I realized I wasn't sure where I wanted to go with it. I very well could reflect on the past 4 years, but we've already done enough of that. So I figured I may as well take this time and try and give everyone a little bit of advice before we go and get our diplomas and depart as a class. I understand, though, that I'm on the same boat as all of you, and therefore can only say so much. I'm in the same deficit of real-world experience, but I'm going to do my best. It is important that we celebrate tonight, for this marks a milestone in our lives. It's graduation. It's a day we've been building up to for years now. But in reality, tonight is eventually going to pass, and life is going to go on. We're all going to spread out our separate ways. Some might go to study more, some might go to work, some will serve the country. And life is going to go on. Before we know it, we'll have been out of high school for far, far, far longer than we ever were in it. And life is going to keep going on. And someday, you're going to wake up. You're going to be old. And eventually, your time on this earth, it's going to come to pass. We live, and then we die. Now, not to completely kill the mood of the evening, but that's the truth, and I can't put it any other way. But I can spin it, and I can tell you one thing. While I haven't lived the full one, I can tell you that life is entirely what you make of it. Its value comes from experience. Sure, you can go through the motions and do as you're told and do what you think you have to do to be successful. You can work hard, you can isolate yourself, you miss out on making all the true connections with people. You miss out on all the fun of adolescence. Then you get to stand at a podium, be valedictorian. That's not life. That's being a machine. I don't know where Mrs. Hemlin is, but 20 years from now, I can guarantee you more than half of us won't be able to remember most of our teachers, or what grade we got in some trig class. But I can promise you that you'll remember the times where you took the initiative to make an effort to be with the people you love, to be happy, to enjoy this life that keeps going on. You'll remember the times where you grabbed life with both hands and said, "This is mine to do what I want with it." You'll remember the times you celebrate and the times you grieve. You'll remember the good times and the hardships. These are what life is composed of. You most likely won't remember this speech. I can promise you I won't. But if nothing else, please heed this simple advice. Live. Don't be afraid to go out there and do what you love. Make friends and keep them. It can save your life someday. Sorry. I know this all sounds about as cliche as it gets, but really, just be happy. It's a good start to go forward from. It's been a real class of 2018, and I wish you all the best. Let's go get those diplomas.
Emotional anyway, so it doesn't take much. So the time has come. It's just about time for those diplomas. If the members of the school committee and Dr. Cassavant could please come to the podium. At this time, members of the school committee and Dr. Cassavant, I am pleased to present the class of 2018. All students have met the requirements for graduation. Grand marshals, please take your places. Elijah Savan Hill. Mackenzie Ray Mosier. Abigail Bree Salata. Hannah Rose Jordan. Jordan Nicole Geister. Joshua Michael Geister. Dante Pasquale Agnelli. Megan Catherine Albert. Sarah Catherine Ampuja. Lily Catherine Anderson. Trayvon Vincent Bell. Riley Paige Bennett. Desiree Marie Buscanera. Dominic Andrew Bernard. Jacob Ryan Bisbee. Sadie Ann Bodkin. Robert Joseph Brandeberry. Tyler William Brousseau. Connor James Placide Casey. They're anxious, okay? They're anxious. They're ready. Nice. Grace Elizabeth Campo. Alexis Marie Canaday. Genesis Lee Cepeda. Hannah Catherine Chapman. Kathleen Amy Chapman. Dylan Edmund Chartier. Thank you, Ms. Chartier. Maggie Ann Danville Chase. Zachary Ryan Collins. Richard Earl Denault Krause. Alondra Paola de la Paz Santiago. Tyler Michael DePasquale. Taylor Michelle Dunn. Amber Josephine Eaton. Stacia Marie K. Elmer. Margaret Marie. Michael David Franz. Matthew Robert Gallant. Reese Montgomery Geiger. Jacob Paul Geister. Samantha Marie Geister. Samantha Mae Gibson. Cody Michael Gogan. Jillian Deborah Gravel. William Daniel Habon. Ashley Nicole Hallinan. Sammy Beth Hamill. Connor Stephen Hansen. Montana Darian Hickman.
Janasia Aaliyah Hinkle. Amanda Lynn Jansen. Dominic Tyler Carell. Krista Nicole Lackey. Mackenzie Rose LeClaire. Kylie Megan Lafreniere. Evan Russell Lapointe. Katarina Lynn Lloyd. Patricia Mar- Patricia Marie Lyons. Hannah Aline Mahoney. Alexander Michael Millett. Marissa Ann Marks. At this time, I would like to welcome Lori Matson up to bestow the diploma on her daughter. Lauren Ashley Madsen. Adam Nicholas Merrill. Brennan Lane Morin. Jake Ryan Mott. Dylan Luke Daniel Murray. Sarah Ann Myers. Savannah Jean Nelson. Zachary Dylan O'Malley. Andrea Palafox Salazar. Crystal Jeanette Paradise. Andrew Justin Pyle. Matthew Pearson Rader. Gabriel Howard Ramos. Benjamin Joseph Raymond. Robert Riley.
At this time, I'd like to welcome Deborah Robichaud up to give her son his diploma.
Owen Scott Robichaud. Daniela Salinas. Alan Hunter Samuels. Elizabeth Marie Schmidt. Chloe Jean Simeone. Katie May Ray Southwick. Jacob Michael Sullivan. Kyle Richard Tenney. Brendan Lord Thompson. Alyssa Lynn Waterman. David Jason West. Sarah Ann White. Connor James Williams. Leah Michelle Williams. Madeline Elizabeth Wilson Shattuck. Caitlin Emily Wyman.
Thank you, Dr. Cassavant and Ms. Hughes, for your help with the distribution of diplomas, and my apologies for not introducing Ms. Chartier, who presented her diploma, her son's diploma, Dylan. Thank you. Congratulations to our 2018 graduates. Tonight, you have heard your fellow classmates talk about your school memories, the fun times you've had, and the struggles that some of you have faced. I won't bore you going on and on about that, or how you should try to give your best, or give you sage advice about what's going to happen next. What I will say is this: always remember to be in the moment. It's nothing new, but it's worth saying. Be amazing in all you do. Be brave when making good choices. Be unstoppable when you're going after all your dreams. Be the difference you hope to see in the world. And in the words of Batman, say this to yourself every day. It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. Face your fears, be you, because Batman is already taken. Congratulations. I'm so very proud of this class. Would the marshals please take your place to stand the graduates? Please take your tassels and move them from the right to the left. You are now graduates. Introduce to you the most recent graduating class